Welcome back to the Mesa, the Delta, the Incirrina. Wait, ha! Welcome back to the Mesa, the Incirrina, and the Delta between them. I'm Blaze Masterson. With us today, we have Odd Frenry.
I am Montgomery T. Corbier.
Zoe.
I'm playing the role of Yami.
And Universal.
And
Stu will be joining us later.
Yes, I'm playing Delta Badhand, and I'm a half-orc barbarian.
You know, when he first told me, I did not realize that Delta Bad Hand was a pun. It took me hot. I think it actually took me until the end of last session to figure that out.
I've got bad news for everyone because I've only just realised.
Hey.
Excellent. Okay, well, if I'm not the worst, I surely am the best. All right, excellent. So let's have a summary of the last episode. Odd, you strike me as the kind of dude who remembers everything, knows everything, and has a hat for it. Is that correct?
Pretty much. I have a few hats. So last time,
as you're recapping, be right back.
Last time, the crew, which was the three of us as well as 5 others, were all gathered, arrested, roused early in the morning, because there was an arson at a bar the previous night, and the town was trying to figure out who had done it. And this town... Where are my notes? Thanatos. This town was Thanatos, which is a nice paradisey town. And they gathered us all up and could not figure out who was responsible for the arson. And so they shipped us all off to Rothica, which is up north and has lots of fish. Rothica exports fish to Thanatos. And Thanatos exports prisoners to Rothica's gulags. And normally it's a long process, but they have just invented a new form of transportation, some sort of magically propelled train. And it had just arrived in Thanatos with a huge shipment of yummy, smelly fish. And so they unloaded that train and plopped us on it and sent us off to Rothica. We were under the careful eye of Ted Trawler. I'm sorry, I mean Robert Trawler, the train guard. And there was another prisoner we met, Lucky, who was not very forthcoming about any of his personal details. Everyone but Lucky managed to come up with a plan to escape, which basically involved jumping off the train, for those who did not have magic ways of spiriting themselves off of the train. So
I thought it was very inventive.
Yeah. So once Trawler had gone to bed, everyone jumped or Misty stepped off of the train, leaving Lucky behind, who sort of waved at us as the train sped off. And we've been heading towards Red Mesa since. Red Mesa being the little settlement between Rothica and Thanatos that is up on a high butte and is, I think, around a day or so more away from us. We have looked for food, we have had entertainment around a campfire, and we have stumbled upon some giant scorpions, which we all did a marvelous job of fighting off.
Absolutely. Those guys never even saw it coming.
You say marvelous job. I do remember basically not hitting them at all.
For some reason, I remember not hitting them at all.
Going down twice. I'm not really too sure.
But hey.
No, Delta punched one of them to death, so, you know, you did
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
You're right.
Oh, I mean,
did land
Delta,
the last
sure,
one.
sure.
I just
Delta did
failed
fine.
Other times.
Well, I mean, Delta did fine. I think
He did
Zoe
fine for Delta.
caught a few good stings. Well, yeah, he was Delta Bad Hand. All right, so you guys have just finished sparring with a bunch of giant scorpions. You still have a little ways to go, though. Maybe even another. It's starting to get late in the day. You're seeing the sun begin to set. The temperature is getting colder out here in the desert, and so you guys have still got a little bit of traveling left to do. And as it turns out, the people left to do their traveling anecdotes, their traveling mechanic, are Oddward and Zoe. Now, I believe that according to this turn order, Montgomery T. Corbier goes before. Oh my fucking god, Zoe, where are you?
Zoe's 3.
Right.
Oh yeah, I
3.
see. You're literally reading that. Okay.
Yes, precisely. 3. So, Odd, you two actually are going to dictate whether the team as a whole succeeds or faces some kind of obstacle on the way to Red Mesa from where you are. So, you guys have been traveling for maybe a day. The sun is starting to hang low in the sky. Everybody's very thirsty.
Spooky.
It's very thirsty. So it's been hot. You guys have been largely trying to travel at night and sleep during the day because that's how you do in the desert. But you now realize like the exigency of your situation, which has to do with your water supplies. You have to get to the city or you will not have water.
That's a pretty
So,
bad situation.
It's a little bit dire. You guys have got about 12 hours to fuck around, I think, before
Hello.
somebody. Hey, baby.
Sorry, guys.
Introducing Scoo. Scoo, who are you playing, babe?
I don't even know. Where am I?
Excellent.
Chip,
Love it.
Chips Keswick? Is that the?
Yeah.
Is that what we're doing right now?
You got it. You got it. Now, what's up with Chips? What should we know about Chips?
I've got to get my head into the right space. He is Eladrin?
That's right.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Testing myself here. And he is sorry, I'm trying to get my password in while I'm doing this, and I'm not typing correctly because I can't multitask. What?
I'm trying to put you under pressure, baby. Now I need you to recap the entire last session.
Oh my god, I can't get my password in now. Hang on.
I love doing this
No,
shit to
what
Stu. It's so good.
No.
I love doing this shit to you.
Here's what happened last episode. Nothing. There was no last episode.
Whoa.
Focus on this one.
All right. I like your forward thinking, your forward looking activity.
I'm not joking. It took me about 6 goes to get my password in. I'm in. I'm connecting. We're gonna get going. Sorry for the hold up.
No worries at all. In fact, Odd just did give us a recap of the last session.
Oh,
He
I
was
missed
so
it.
kind to take care of it. No, it's quite all
I
right.
need it.
So, well, you guys jumped off a fucking train.
Yeah, we rode a
and,
train, we
the
jumped
reason-
off, and we fought scorpions.
The reason I need it, of course, is because I got interrupted at the tail end of last week, so I missed it.
Mhm.
So I'm making a habit out of this. I'm sorry, guys. I expected to be. My boss never calls me, and he chose like right now to call me. So
It's all right, Sugar Bear. Ain't nobody mad at you. Kind of the main thing you missed at the tail end of last session is that giant scorpions, they're a real bitch if you don't have weapons. Huh.
I might actually also tease. There is actually an in-game reason why I might have been a little bit distracted.
That
That's
is
all I'm going
true.
to say on that.
That is true.
Okay.
Chips was a touch distracted during this last event.
The dot in my lower half had fleas.
Precisely. He's revealed it out of game, which
damn.
is strictly
Sorry.
against the rules. You're now disqualified forever from playing games with me. Blaze games,
What
I
game
like to
is
call
this?
them. This is the Red Mesa game. All right. So up next, we've got Odd. Odd, we're going to do the travel mechanic with you, which is where you describe a problem, and then you describe how your character, Montgomery T. Corbier, wants to try and solve that problem, and then we roll for it.
Okay,
But
and this is
these are
separate
characters
from
to-
the worry about hydration.
That's correct. You're
Okay.
totally fine here. You're gonna be fine for probably 12 more hours.
Okay.
Just you guys know that water is a concern, and that is just because you were literally traveling across a desert right now. You jumped off a train that was easily a day's, possibly 2's, away from a plateau, and you had somebody looking for food, and you found a little bit of sustenance. But just to keep you in mind of the setting, the sun is beating down on you, even though it's late afternoon. That's the level of the. Just keep in mind that we are in a desert here, and then you are always going to feel a little bit gritty, a little bit sweaty, a little bit parched in the back of your throat. I want you to have those in the back of your mind as you're experiencing this.
Before you you come up with your problem, I'm just going to put it out there. You can't investigate the desert for tells. That's not something you can do.
That is true. That was your primary activity last session, I believe, was checking for tells.
Well, so part of why that was my primary activity was because Monty is feeling quite uncomfortable and out of his element. He came up with a plan of what to do on the train for his escaping, but he is not happy with not having any of his stuff. Partly his wagon full of wares. He doesn't like fighting, but he doesn't have his trusty weapon that he relies on if he is thrown into a scrape. And he has nothing to sell to make some quick money when he gets into town. So he's a little on edge. He's used up his only flask of acid to escape the train. So he's going to be looking around, trying to find anything that could be used to concoct either an effective or a just nice-looking elixir or potion of some sort that could garner him a quick buck when they reach Red Mesa.
Okay, so you're scouting around for plants that you could maybe wring into a poultice. You could maybe maybe like have that sort of percolate with some water for a little bit and color it, maybe something along those lines. Okay, great. So you're looking for plants. You can choose either survival, nature, or perception to find something colorful in the desert.
Well,
that you can use to what is it called when you just cold drop like a cucumber into vodka? It's
infusing. Is
infusing.
That what you're looking for?
Thank you. That's my boy. Thank you. So you're trying to find a plant by which you can infuse a little bit of water. You don't have water right now.
Indeed.
But if you can get the plant, water is going to be easy enough to come by once you get into Red Mesa, I believe. Maybe. It's hard to tell.
All
I
right.
believe.
I'll throw a perception.
Hit me.
Ooh.
You
I'm
find
not liking
nothing,
this
my
sun.
dude.
The sun beating down.
Yeah, I think actually your hat really is not equipped for this, and so the sun is kind of in your eyes the whole time. You even find a little tiny puddle, but there's no plants around it, and the puddle, unfortunately, is so sandy and muddy that you're not too sure you could get potable water out of it anyway.
Can I just splash some on my forehead?
Okay. Yeah. You can throw a little bit on you. It's it leaves you feeling even grittier than before, though. Once you've been walking for a little bit, because what you're able to throw on you does have a couple of granules of sand in it. So you got a little bit of sand on you. You had a temporary cooling, but you came to regret it really afterward, because the sand wound up getting into your pores and kind of getting into some of your finer spaces around your neck and your collar area.
Wonderful.
Picture you crawling across the desert looking for exfoliants.
Yeah, you really want some aloe vera. That's what you want, but there's none to be found. All right, so Onward has had a tough time of things. Zoe, what the hell are you doing out here in the desert? You're a druid. You're a wild shaper. You've obviously got the right mask and the veil and the sort of covering for the season. How are you living out here?
Can you summon rain clouds? Is that a thing you could do?
Oh, for the right price.
I don't need one right now. I'm just thinking ahead.
Yeah, Yami I can create or destroy water, so like I guess like I'm gonna be your best friend or your worst enemy. But it's not something I want to do now. Before it gets dark, I want to go search for something that I could use as a and since we're out in the desert, and also since druids detest metal, I can use anything that's made out of wood. So I'd like to make a nature check to go look for some, basically a tree, a short stubby tree that might dwell in a sort of arid environment that I could use for a weapon. However, I might need someone else's help to essentially form it into a spear.
Making a spear out of like the spindly dry wood you would have in the desert seems kind of hard. But yeah, give me a nature. Let's see what you find first.
Ooh.
Looking good. You find the Joshua tree out there. There's a whole goddamn
Nice.
tree. It is twisted and gnarled, and it's got the feel of something that keeps reaching ever outward, ever outward, ever outward, trying to find moisture that isn't there. It's kind of destroyed itself in its search for omnipresence, is I think one way that you could describe the tenacity of this tree that you have found.
Nice. But yeah, it's just wood at the moment, so I can't really
That's
do
right.
anything with it. So I'd like to offer up to any other members of the group if they want to help me out, or if they want to.
I want to,
I'm
but I don't know how I would at the moment.
I'm a
It's like-
fairly handy tinkerer, but I don't know what I could. Well, I have my acid flask. I could smash it and then carve up the tree with a shard of glass.
I could
Sounds pretty
use
legit.
my big orc teeth and tusks, bite it into a point.
Oh my God, you're a living pencil sharpener.
Here's what I could do. I could rub it on a rough rock, get a handful of sand, and just like sand it down.
Wow.
So you've got your three options.
What are you
Wow,
looking for, Zoe?
choices.
It's
Yeah,
like blind date.
you're
only
spoiled
you
for
get to pick
choice,
the
madam.
workman.
Yeah, this is really blind date. Behind door number 3,
Did the
you'll sand
Americans
it
know
down
what
for
blind
you.
date is?
Well, I mean, behind door number 3 is always 2 dogs in a trench coat.
You have
Um,
blind date over there.
I'm gonna go with Delta's idea to human pencil sharpener purely for branding opportunity.
Well,
Wow,
human
yeah.
pencil sharpener, but okay. So, yeah.
Sorry, the half orc pencil sharpener.
Yeah, I'll sort of walk along all day and I'll be chewing on this thing, sort of just like it's some sort of massive,
Oh my
ridiculous
Toothpick.
toothpick, yeah. And
Well,
yeah,
there is I'm originally from Little Rock, Arkansas in the U.S. During the exploration period of the United States, there was a fellow named Bowie. He created the Bowie knife, which we pronounce in Arkansas the Bowie knife. I think he was Daniel Bowie. For a second, I was really looking for David Bowie. It's Daniel Bowie, who also wore the raccoon skin hats. You might think
That's
of.
Boone.
Right, Daniel Boone, for which the Bowie knife is named. I'm lying about that.
Yeah,
part. Anyway,
Jim. It was Jim Bowie.
Jim Bowie. Thank you. I got those two mixed up. Jim
Those
Bowie.
holograms?
Full Bunyan,
created,
yeah.
he created like a gigantic utility knife, and it is called. This knife is about 9 inches long, I think. Generally, it is the sort of thing you use when you're actually like scouting through wilderness. Now, in Arkansas, that Bowie knife that Jim Bowie came up with, this 9-inch blade serrated on one edge, is called an Arkansas toothpick. And that is because Arkansans will fucking kill you for any reason and don't give a shit about nothing. So what you've got is far beyond the Bowie knife. What you've got is far beyond like the half orc toothpick. You're creating a spear as a toothpick. And that's I just want to give you a little bit of context. That's the kind of legend you're forging right now.
Yes.
Is you're creating the bad hand toothpick, and it's a full spear.
I hand it back and I say, you're gonna want to let that dry for a while. And the end is just a big soggy mess at the minute.
So
Disgusting.
yeah,
It's like a dog's chew toy.
Like a
Yeah.
rawhide chew toy.
Yeah, like a rawhide bone.
I have
Those are the
swallowed a
worst
great
pickup.
deal of wood.
You're gonna be. Yeah. Anyway, let's not talk
Yeah.
about what you're gonna be doing.
All right, so
I give a sort of kind of half smile, half disgusted look, like yeah, thanks, like, but at the same time, yeah, I'm kind of a little bit grossed out by saliva.
so remind me a little bit. I'm sorry about this, but if I recall right, your picture is you wearing a mask, but you don't necessarily wear a mask all the time.
Yeah, not all the time. Since we are out in the hot, arid environment, I do keep the hood up just generally for shade. But I'm not a complete weirdo, so I do do face-to-face communication with people.
And remind me how your face looks.
Sorry, 1 second. So it's a kind of a short, squat, rounded face with chubby but ultimately wrinkled cheeks with blue eyes and grey hair, which is short grey hair, sort of around the around the temples. But cut for practicality more than everything.
Okay. All right. So, Bad Hand,
Yeah.
you get to see her give you a little smile of recognition and thanks. With those chubby old cheeks and the gray hair close to the temples.
Yeah, it's a sort of Yami is a sort of she's a badass grandma in training, sort of like
Oh,
Right. Delta's
Good
not
luck.
terribly used to being smiled at, so he just cocks his head like a dog and grunts a sort of affirmation that
nice.
he knows that you've said something or given him a compliment.
Or Delta.
All right. So let's see. We've got. I don't remember the actual score of the travel mechanic, and that doesn't really matter all that much because you guys will have a long rest probably before you get into town. But I think that 22 overrides that 5, and I think that you guys are successful. You managed to get to the edge of the butte, but the fact that you don't have water and the fact that you guys have been traveling for just miles and miles and miles in the desert through the sand. I don't know if you've walked a lot through sand, but it tends to gather on the top of your shoe. It makes walking genuinely a lot more difficult.
Do we?
Mhm.
Oh, sugar. I should have looked for an open container. Because I could just, I could make rain right now.
Sure. So you guys want to find camp and try and make some rain?
Sure.
You're right outside the plateau, but you're not going to be able to make it up that butte. Not right now. It's just it's an exhausting prospect for everyone.
It's a real beaut.
Ugh,
It is.
I like big buttes, and I cannot lie.
you're just all the worst. Like,
Wow.
so.
Yeah, I wish we had all of our other players here now to try to dilute
Dilute
this.
the butte.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Well,
This is no.
so
You
Yami
nasty
asks,
babies.
Yami does generally ask the group if we have any open containers at all.
We do have that
Well,
acid flask.
yes, we
but
do have an acid flask.
I think you could just rinse those out, and I could be wrong.
Like any legumes at all, like anything.
What about a shoe?
I've got a hat, yeah.
Shoes, yeah.
I could
See,
tilt my head back.
see,
Wait,
yeah,
you're
through my-
flagging! Chips is flagging!
Yeah, but I assume that it's like on a prison train, we weren't allowed to have a flagon.
And he doesn't
No,
have
I'm
that
sorry.
sword either. That's
Yeah.
That's
That
all
comes
kind of-
later.
kind of convenience. And well, I ask because through my knowledge of the Druidic arts, I know that I can create up to 10 gallons of clean water in an open container. So anyone got a 10-gallon hat? I guess. Like,
So if I lean my head
Well,
back
now,
into
are
the
you guys
equipment
going
for
to
a long time,
before you try and figure this out?
I'd say we'd figure that out this beforehand because I
Just
assume
on the
that we're
way?
gonna need. Hmm.
I mean,
Yeah,
like,
on
are
the
you going to
way-
walk or are you going to sit down before you try and figure out this 10-gallon thing? You guys going to set up a place to sleep, or are you going to try and like literally create this water on the road? Which you can do. You can create water on the road. I hate doing it.
well, I mean, if we know how we're going to do it, that's fine. But then we can
Yeah, you guys.
we can work that out. Camp
Yeah, so
and then create the water.
Yami's talking to you of like, hey, I can make water, by the way. You guys like, and not in the
I
gross
can
way.
too.
Right. No, sir. Corbier, you cannot in this particular way, monsieur.
All right then. So, well, I guess as a closer, I just pick up a handful of dirt, and then we can continue walking.
All right, so you pick up a handful of dirt. That's yours, baby.
I need that.
I can't take that from you.
I mean, you could
so
try.
I would not even dream of it. You've got a handful of dirt. You guys are at the end of your day. You are at the end of your willpower right now, and you kind of just all want to sit down. Your legs are hurting real bad because just walking through sand is much harder than walking through dirt and rocks, right?
So is the sun setting? We're getting long
The
shadows?
sun is just about setting as you guys reach maybe
Maybe the sun's
you're
rising.
2 or 3 miles away from the edge of the butte on which Red Mesa rests. You can see ahead of you a vision of your victory, of what represents victory to you. But you're not going to be there tonight. So are you guys going to set up camp? And
Does that require any sort of roll?
No. I think you guys are probably setting up something pretty primitive, right?
Yeah.
What do you have on
It
you
would
to
have to
make
be.
camp? Can you do
Very little.
spells to create camp?
I
Not me.
Yeah, I don't. I am pretty sure I could not make spells to create camp. Like, I am a druid, so I have like half a dozen spells to kind of like roll with, but none that do that sort of thing.
That's fine. You guys, basically what you would want to do, I think, in this situation is just take off your armor and then rest on it. Is basically the equivalent of camp for you guys. There's no real resources around. You do have a Joshua tree, sections of wood that you could make a fire with to keep you warm. But I imagine that you guys don't have. Obviously, you don't have any bedrolls or tents.
Well, I was going to dig a big pit into the ground.
Okay.
Not a big pit, but like something to get us out of the wind.
Oh, you got to roll athletics, man.
No, he's good. He's good with that. He's got it.
Oh man.
I was also thinking,
Yes, half orc. Fuck it.
could I dig some sort of pit, some sort of depression into the ground and maybe cover it with something that would hold the water?
Any coverings?
Well, I suppose I'm wearing like some sort of shirt.
It's
It
gonna
would drain
soak
through quick. Yeah. You
You
guys
said,
have also got like
are we wearing
anybody
our
who
armor?
has leather armor is wearing leather armor,
Yeah.
so that might help a bit.
I would
but,
imagine.
I don't wear armor.
But this all depends on when all this is happening, right? Are you guys gonna make camp and chill out at night, or are you first going to create the water?
I would like to suggest we do the water first, simply because if we do make a camp and we rest, you're going to get that ability back. We might need it tomorrow.
True. Yeah.
Yeah,
And the sooner we
100%.
water, the better for our health, I suppose.
All right. It is worth noting that people who live in drier climates tend to have kidney stones more often.
That's horrible.
That has no
Keep
bearing on
hydrated.
the game. It's literally just me reciting medical facts.
Ah, my
Roll
character's
for
got a kidney stone.
Oh, Chips Caswick, kidney stone. Quick, roll Constitution.
Pass that stone.
Oh, what, right here?
You passed
Yes.
it successfully. Congratulations.
I
All right,
passed it on
so
my left.
all right, so are you going to create water, and if so,
Well,
where?
Well, what we need to do first thing is I'm going to roll a nature check because we actually need to find a single drop of water. Like, I'm assuming that
Oh.
we cannot use the sweat off our brows because that's, not exactly water.
No, you can.
Okay, then.
Yeah, that'll do the trick.
I take a single drop of water from my brow and
What is the mechanism by which this is delivered? Like, does it duplicate that drop, or is it going to rain? Are we going to have how is it?
Yeah,
you know,
this actually is up to you, Zoe, how this works out. So
uh,
if you want to, you can create a grip of your sweat, which is like a hilarious idea. Or you create pure water, which is fine. Or alternately, like, does it come out of your hands? Does it rain from the sky? Does it sprout from the ground?
well, I asked the party, basically how they want their rain delivered. I make motions, like up from the sky, or the kind of like out from the ground in this, in this container that Delta, has made here. Like, what are we gonna do?
I mean, can we make it come from the sky such that it falls in Delta's container, and we can also catch some in our mouths, and I can catch some in my flask, and
that sounds good.
Sure.
See why? Yeah, I cast the spell. There you go.
All right,
I'm
there
gonna,
you go.
I'm gonna
You got-
use
you got
some of
10
my
gallons of
leather
water.
armor to kind of catch some as well, to like a bowl to drink
Yeah.
from. And I'll pass
Sure.
like a shoulder pad round to people.
So yeah, we
Whatever.
We basically, I think we all have to like crowd round the hole in the ground because it's a 30-foot cube basically that's raining. So
Mm,
it's pretty gnarly.
Okay. Nice.
amazing. Okay, so we're getting a real good survival sort of thing coming from this. We're drinking out of shoulder pads and kind of everybody's having a real rough time of things, which I think is about right. And so you guys actually like are more than filled with water. You're good to go for another 24 hours at least, because you've just had, I mean, honestly, a pint or two of water really would have done the trick for most of you. And instead you had literally gallons available to you. A lot of it was lost. Most of it was lost, but 3 gallons even is enough for you guys.
Nice.
So
Would
you
have
are
been quite
well
refreshing
into
to have a little shower as well, wouldn't it?
R.I.P. motherfucker. Actually, Universal's got the worst of that, right? You had the grit. You had the extra sand.
I
Who had
did.
the extra?
That was Montgomery.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Core Beer has the worst of it because he's still got a little bit of extra grit in his headband and collar area. He's got a little bit of extra sand that you just can't get rid of, and your clothing and everything kind of rubs right on it. It's a little bit raw, a little bit rough, a little bit raw, a little bit rough.
So he is a rogue, so if he was to hide now, that would be like a rawhide. Rawhide. Yeah.
So
I
as you
did
guys, did you though?
I
Did you?
tried.
Okay.
That's all
good
that
enough for
matters.
me. All right, so you guys are I guess you want to take a nap after you've found enough water, you've got enough food, you're almost to your destination, you're just dog ass tired.
Did we get a long rest there, or what is our rest? Because
I'm asking you, what kind of
it's-
rest do you guys want to to take? It's
overnight, right?
It's nearly bedtime. You guys have discovered water, you've got food. I can't think of any reason why you wouldn't want to take a long rest, but if anybody has anything else they want to do out here in the desert on the edge, the periphery of the butte,
Of
the
glory?
plateau.
I do want to dig those essentially graves for everyone. You know.
Okay.
Well, not grave, but you know what I mean. Little like sleeping hollows.
Yeah. Okay, you do absolutely.
What
You,
I'm gonna do.
That's just something I start doing. Like it's been drilled into me to do.
I'm not gonna sleep for the full duration because I'm an Eladrin and I can go into a trance.
Yeah.
So
We should probably keep a watch.
some of it, I've got night vision as well, so I'm gonna wake myself up after 4 hours, fully refreshed, and I'm gonna observe the area around us, and I'm gonna keep my eye open for any like little lizards maybe, or anything that's coming towards this now fertile, moist ground that we might be able to snack upon.
Give me a survival check, won't you please?
Yeah.
All right, you don't find anything, but here's what you do see.
Uh-oh.
Claim jumpers, varmints. He comes
It's lucky.
running. He comes running down the dune at you.
I'm gonna wake
You
everyone
guys
up.
are all ready for bed, all just getting kind of around.
Are
the
we ready for
campfire.
bed, or are we 4
Oh, no,
hours
this
into
is-
bed?
This is 4 hours in, right? Because I
Yeah,
have
that-
my meditation.
Well, this is like right in the start of the watch. So you guys have maybe been an hour into bed. Let's put it that way. 1 hour into bed. No long rest.
Right.
This guy comes up to you. Claim jumpers, varmints. What
He's
the
saying that.
hell is you doing on my property?
Who's
We
gonna?
were just having a nap. we're passing through. We're lost.
Oh, all right. Hell, y'all in trouble?
Hopefully not. That depends on you, sir.
Oh well, hell, I ain't gonna hurt nobody. And now you looking for my claim?
Certainly not.
What about you? Trying to take my claim?
No, sir.
And you?
Absolutely not.
You're damn right. Hell. Now,
Lucky you didn't ask Delta. Delta is looking for. No, I'm joking.
Delta is. Fact. Now, what y'all need then? If y'all ain't here to take from me,
I
what do y'all need?
Yami side-eyes the group to try and communicate who is going to speak on the group's behalf.
I'm fine doing that.
Yeah, just to let you know, anybody can speak on the group's behalf.
Well, no, this is
Number.
important about what I'm gonna next do.
Okay.
Because
Fair enough. Odd apparently pipes up then.
Yeah, Chips would
Yeah.
probably look towards Montgomery because he's heard him talking before, and he knows he's got like the gift of the gab. So
well, yeah, this is super useful for me because no wait, I don't do anything.
All right then.
All right then.
Yami chills the fuck out.
mysterious.
Yeah, Yami is very cool, while
Well,
Courtier.
but her lower
I-
half goes in circles.
Despite this, I don't, despite being two dogs in a trench coat, I don't have like the fur of from a beast or like on my person, so I can't
Right.
do what I wants to do.
Well, you do have any magical focus that you would have had, which is probably like
Yeah.
a stick, frankly. So you could cast druid spells. It's not.
I whisper over.
No.
What would that
I specifically need the the material. That,
Okay.
It has a monetary cost.
Yes. Well, not a monetary cost, but yes, a material cost.
Well, a material cost you can use a focus instead.
Yep.
If it
correct.
just
You
says
can-
M, you can use a focus. If it says something like you need a bottle of ink worth 10 gold pieces, if it says worth X number of money, then you have to have that ingredient and can't use a focus.
Correct. So what Odd is saying is that you can do anything unless there is GP in the spell.
Okay. All right
So if
then.
you want
well,
to, you can.
okay then. So I try.
Delta rips off part of his beard and hands it to you.
Jesus, Delta. God in heaven. That's the most hardcore thing I've literally ever heard of. And
Delta beard hand.
I know about he like took out his appendix, his own appendix, on a surgery like in Antarctica.
Some
Ripping out your own beard is some real shit.
just a small part of it.
I'm saying even a couple thems.
It's not nice, but you know.
I cast enhanceability on Montgomery and Eagle's Splendor, so that they have advantage on charisma checks. Because I feel that there might be one coming up.
All right.
That's pretty fair.
Nice.
All right, Odd.
So,
it sounds like you're juiced up.
I turn to the man and say, pardon me, sir, I don't believe I caught your name.
He looks over to Yami, and he says, What in the hell did you just do? What?
And I bluster that we are partners. I was just whispering something in his ear.
So, I'm sorry, sir. I should have introduced myself first before I asked you who you were. My name is Montgomery T. Corbier. I am a traveling salesman. This here is my apprentice and my guide and my bodyguard. And the four of us were traveling to Red Mesa when we were overtaken by bandits who took all of our stuff and left us in the middle of nowhere with no idea how to continue. And we were just finally found our way, saw Red Mesa ahead, and we're just trying to spend the night here before heading on into town in the morning.
Yami nods emphatically, like please buy it.
Oh.
Delta cracks his knuckles.
Well, now, how did these bandits get to you?
They came on horseback.
Were you on train?
No, we were taking the main road. They chased us off it a ways, and then after they'd ambushed us and stolen our wares, we weren't able to find our way back to it.
Oh hell! Well, all right. Well, I guess I'm sorry about that. Y'all need water? I got a little bit right over here.
Well, that's mighty kind of you, sir.
I take him up on the offer of water, not because we need it, but because I don't want to turn down his offer and look ungracious.
Yeah.
Fair. All right. He goes and he fetches you a little bit from his burro. He's riding on. He's got a little burro. He reintroduced himself. I'm Lucky. Who are you?
As I said, my name is Montgomery T. Corbier.
Hell, son, you already talked. I know you.
I was gonna introduce my friends.
Who are you then?
I introduce myself as I say, "Hi, I'm Yami. I am the apprentice of Montgomery. I'm learning his ways in being a traveling salesperson. I hope that's what Montgomery kind of applied to me.
All right, girl. That's fine. I guess.
That's out. OOC. He said he gave up a list of roles, and I was like, which one am I?
I was actually intending for Chips to be the apprentice and you to be the guide, but
Shit.
I'm cool.
Let's go with this with canon. We have to respect the fiction.
He looks over to Chip. Are you the guide then?
That's me, sir. My name's Chips.
You know about Red Mesa?
Oh, a long time ago. I haven't been up this way in ages. That's partly why we got lost.
His poor guide.
I know.
And you?
I needed the money.
He lives at Delta.
Delta draws himself up to his full height and sort of
Jesus.
says, "Name's
That's a
Delta,
big-
sir."
You're a big ass bodyguard then.
I,
All
I need it.
Well, he looks up and he's like, "You're good at your job. You're bad at your job. You're okay at your job, and if your job is talking, you're bad at that too."
I go to punch Delta in the chest, and comment about how we wouldn't have got ambushed if he wasn't sleeping on the job.
Oh, I see. Well,
I just
I do
nod.
see how that
Can,
is.
He snores.
yeah.
Wow, seems rough for y'all. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll put you up for the night, or rather, I'll show you back to my little ranch for the night. The truth is, I try and do a little bit of archaeology out here. I like to try and pan for gold out here in the sands. That's where I could find it. It's just you throw a little sand in the pan. Sure as hell, there's some nuggets. You look for it hard enough.
I asked Lucky about how he exchanges his nuggets from, like, where does he go? I want to, basically I want to have some interest in his gold panning operation. And
Man, I
that
just
goes back
operate. Yeah, thank you for your interest. I do appreciate it. In my livelihood, the truth is, I like to live out here, but I have to trade with the folks at Red Mesa. You know I do. Ain't nobody else around.
Ooh,
Where else you gonna find water?
that's certainly true. That's certainly true.
That's semi-true. That's semi-true.
Mm.
Now, I actually get this question all the time, so I may as well preemptively answer it. A lot of people like to ask me why I'm called Lucky. Do you want to know?
Why are you
Yeah.
called Lucky?
Why are you called Lucky,
I
stranger?
spread my hands inquiringly.
Well, I'm lucky because I live outside this town. Think about
Ooh.
that.
So, what's so bad about Red Mesa? Why is it lucky to live out here?
Oh, well, out here, all you got to deal with is a bunch of giant scorpions. Well, I think so. That's all I've ever seen.
Giant scorpions? They actually exist. I've never seen one.
Oh, hell, count yourself lucky, girl. They tend to kill most of us just outright. At least
Wow.
twice. At least twice.
Well, be blessed that we've never come across them. Maybe the bandits was a blessing rather than a curse.
Oh, fair enough. Maybe them bandits had to face them giant scorpions. Ain't that shitty for them?
God, I wouldn't like to be in their shoes. No.
Goodness, you're an excellent role player then. By the way, well, I mean, the truth is, I am glad to live outside this city because I can get a little bit of water from them, and then all I got to deal with is these giant scorpions. Whereas inside of that city, what do you got? You got your witch gangs. You got shit. You got your crooked police that I don't like very much, and I don't do well with them. You got that whole dang civilization just built on this magic water, I suppose, that they put together. But hell, I don't want to be involved in that kind of juju and voodoo and wham-whams.
I want to make a history check to see if I know anything about the witch gangs, because those, like...
Yeah, hit me with that juice. Sure.
All right, let's go.
You've never heard of witch gangs in your entire life. You don't know what witches are. I'm kidding. You do know what witches are, but the witch gangs, completely
Which gangs?
mystery.
I am still none the wiser.
Which
Mystery,
gangs?
Absolutely. Witch gangs.
I'm sorry. Is magic water something we've talked about before, or is this the first time we're hearing it?
Magic water is not something you've heard about before, and it is the first time you're hearing it. However, you just saw Zoe create water.
Okay. But that
So
was
it's
regular
not like-
water created magically. I didn't know if magic water was a
Oh,
magical
no,
water.
Right. No, this is similar to that.
Okay, gotcha.
This is a large-scale infrastructure operation built by presumably a group of people like Zoe, although probably not that much like Zoe.
Yeah, they're probably people and not two dogs.
And not two dogs in a trench coat.
Not
Right.
two
So
dogs.
Yami is really bringing the surprises repeatedly.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can kind of see what's going on. And he says, well, now I'll tell you the part though that I really think is lucky. And that's that I don't have to deal with the Incinera. I mean, the Incinera. They're terrifying.
Again, I'm gonna make another history check to
Yeah,
see
hit me.
if I know what the history. Because if this fails, I'll actually. Oh, it's not good.
Oh no, I'm afraid not. You
All right then.
You might just have to ask me about these things then. It might-
Oh shit!
almost
I
as
actually
if-
have
yeah,
to
it's
interact
almost
with the
as if-
characters that you make.
yes, ma'am. It's as if
Uh.
I'm an expository type of character. Damn, ain't that hard to deal with?
Now it sounds like
So
I said I haven't been back to Red Mesa in a long, long time. I don't recall these people you're talking about. Can you tell us more?
Oh, hell, you ain't regard the Incinera?
Yeah.
Well, damn, son, it has been a minute since you've been through here. Hell, I've been here my whole damn life. They've been here my whole. Y'all acting strange, truth be told, but. Are you? He looks left and right. He looks
ex-
around. He's hesitant.
I explained to Lucky that I'm not from around here. So I don't know what the Incinera are.
And
either.
I pipe up my friend here is an Eladrin, so he's actually quite a bit older than he looks. So if he's never heard of these Incinera, then it must have been way before his time.
All right, Odd, you just completely circumvented a check. Just so you know, like that is, answer, period. All right. All right, well, hell, then that shit, it might have been different 500 years ago. I don't know. One way or another, hell, I'm just a regular old ass prospector trying to make his money out of here. Now, madam, just to answer your question, my understanding of the Incinera, and he just whispers it. Nobody's willing to even say the word out loud. Is that they kind of run all these organized crime types of operations out here in Red Mesa. Real dangerous folks. If you're a criminal, you might want to talk to them, but I don't know any damn criminals, and I don't
Give
want
us all
to.
your contact details.
But
So
truth be told, these fellas they're all bad dudes. It is a ring of organized crime. It is based here in Red Mesa, and I hear tell it stretches all the way from Thanatos to Rothica.
So in the morning when we head out for Red Mesa proper, do you have any advice as to how best to avoid these Incinera?
Oh hell, they will find. They want you, son. That is why I don't stay in that city. These folks, if there is a whisper of a criminal organization taking place, they will find you. They will find you, and I hear they will take you right apart. Do you know who leads them?
I can't rightly say that I do.
He looks over to Chips. Do you know?
Well, no.
Do you
You
remember?
quite clearly remember me saying I didn't know who the group were? How would I know who the leader of this group was?
Oh, well, hell, I'm just an old simple prospector. Must have just been looking for some kind of verification of your story.
Verified.
But, well, I hear there's two of them. There's one
Two
man.
leaders?
There's two leaders.
Are they in a trench coat?
They're in a trench coat. One is called the Right Hand. He, I don't know anything about him really, except everybody calls him a snake. Calls him a snake. Snake, snake, snake. It's the only thing I ever heard about that man. The other? Well, the other's the real leader. Brains behind the power, if you catch my drift. Real, true, honest to God. Terrifying man. His name is the accountant.
Sorry, did you say the Count?
The accountant.
The accountant.
The accountant.
So, like, if the count was inside a tent?
That is incorrect.
Yami laughs openly at the notion that an accountant can be terrifying.
Laugh while you can, madame. The accountant. We also call him the bookkeeper. He runs this whole thing like a mathematical operation. I hear that when he's working out, the cost of his ventures, his criminal ventures, is what we all been told in the city. When the accountant, when the bookkeeper works out the cost of his criminal ventures, he puts a monetary value on people's lives, on his own agents' lives. If somebody is working for him, do you know how much they are worth? If they die during the operation, but the operation is successful, do you know how much an individual's life is worth to this man? This accountant, this bookkeeper?
Yeah, I guess it depends from operation to operation on the value of someone's, on their value towards the kind of the whole operation is itself. So I answer fairly cold and irrationally to the question.
Okay. What's your now that's your answer? Coldly, irrationally, that's your answer? Just kind of a dispatched, a detached sort of accounting that you just gave?
Yeah.
He
No,
interrupts you.
it's almost like I don't know.
Yeah, he interrupts you like immediately. And he says, 5 silver pieces. That man values a human life, including one that is working for him, as 5 goddamn silver pieces. He has killed countless.
Wow.
And that's why I don't want to be in there. That's why I don't want to be in the city, madame. It is because in there are hundreds of criminal agents working for this man in this little city of ours, in this little trade city of ours. So that's why I come out here and every goddamn day work my back to breaking, trying to find gold in sand. And it's hard to find, too. I do work hard every day.
Well, I'm sure that's a very fine life for you, but unless
It's
you
not
have
fine,
any...
You some bitch. I just said I was living hand to mouth trying to find gold in sand.
And
how much gold do you find in sand?
You said you were lucky to live out here, and you wouldn't live in there.
Lucky compared
That's all
to
I
them.
meant.
Lucky compared to them. That's for fact.
Indeed, and I'm saying that you know that we are headed into Red Mesa, so surely you consider yourself lucky compared to us.
I wish you good luck.
And all I was going to say was that if you have any advice on what a band of poor, unarmed, unsupplied, at the moment, vagrants can do as opposed to heading into Red Mesa in the morning, then we would surely be glad to listen to it.
Hell, ain't nobody can fix the problems out here in the desert, son.
Well, in
I'm
that
sorry.
case, we're gonna
I can offer
head
you-
into
I
Red
can let
Mesa,
you-
and if you're trying to scare us off of Red Mesa, it might be working, but we've got no other choice. So,
Oh no, I know you ain't got no other choice. You thought I was trying to do some kind of good, like I was put here by some kind of dungeon master. Hell no, son. Hell no. No, you can stay on my lane tonight. That's the gift I'm giving you, you unlucky ones heading into Red Mesa. You've got the night here on my property, and I won't send the dogs after you. That's what I've got to give for you.
I say that's a shame. Good heat.
I made an investigation check of Lucky to see if they have like any sores or like boils on their hands or anything like that.
Insight is what you would pick.
Oh, insight.
Yeah.
I
Insight
got
is
the
into people, and just to let you know, insight is into people, and investigation is into non-human things.
Okay,
kind of
all right.
that.
Well, I'm gonna do a nice gnarly insight check onto Lucky because.
Yeah, hit me.
Ooh, damn.
Okay, you're looking at his hands. Is that correct?
Yeah, I basically want to see if he's like, since he said he's lived a hard life, I want to show some gratitude towards Lucky. Basically, I don't want Lucky turning us into turning us to the law at any time now or in the future. So I want to show some gratitude by giving them some essentially like either medicine or like just plain old healing to see if I can make their life better. So, if it comes to it, we don't get shafted later.
Yeah, okay. He's got you can see from the way that he walked, he's got a fucked up gait, right? Like his right knee is really messed up. And if you look on both his hands, there are just kind of calluses and ashiness and just not boils, not like any kind of disease, but the signs of working way, 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 way too hard for far too long are really evident on this person.
Okay.
So you could give them some magical healing, and it will sort of affect the effects of aging, and it will absolutely reduce the effects of the overwork and the sort of hard scrabble labor that he's done for the past 3 months, let's say.
Sure. Okay, and how would you suggest that I go about that? Because should I do either medicine or like cast cure wounds on them?
Heal wounds will totally do the trick. You don't have to. You can just press the button on the heal wounds spell, and that way it'll be in the log, in case anybody wants to check that log later.
Okay,
but yeah,
well,
we'll just consider it as you healed him.
Okay, well, I should also. I guess all right then. I was going to ask if he, wanted some healing to basically making sure that Lucky acknowledges that I'm doing the guy a favor in return. But yeah.
Okay, sure. If you want to ask, he will respond. Well, hell. All right. Well.
All right.
Okay.
I cast away, and let's see how this goes.
He
All right,
does.
he's got that's gonna be an entire 6 months of hard labor removed off of him. So his you look at the inside of his hands, he's got calluses on the bottom of each finger, right there at the the interior knuckles. And he looks down, and sure enough, these calluses kind of heal a little bit, and they're still rugged, they're still strong. Just he doesn't have these gigantic bulbous protrusions from his knuckles, and
Nice.
he flexes his hands kind of a little bit, like, oh, thank you, man. Well, all right.
Well,
it seems like you strangers kind of did me an all right turn yourselves, huh?
It's the least that we could do for you, putting us up, for you, letting us sleep here for the night.
Well, All right then. I'm glad you guys traveled through here. And
I asked just something. He noticed when you guys were doing some sort of psychic stuff earlier.
Psychic stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any way we could find out how he knows without directly asking? You know, is he some sort of
no,
wizard himself?
there was just a verbal and somatic component to that
Right.
spell.
Okay.
He literally
yeah,
observed it. He
Okay.
literally saw the spell being cast.
He saw it with his eyes.
How cunning.
Right. Well, say, Lucky, do you mind if we just get some rest? We're awfully tired.
Oh hell, it's my bedtime too. I'm gonna go and turn in over here. You guys just, I'll tell you, you done me such a right turn. Thank you so much for healing me. Why don't you guys just enjoy my property? And I will I will never see you again, hopefully, but enjoy my property until morning time, and then I might come through with the dogs. You stay too long.
Wow.
Thanks though.
Okay.
Thank you. Just let's call checkout time 11 a.m.
That's
Okay,
mighty
then.
generous.
I
That's
call it
better than most
breakfast time.
hotels.
Universal.
No, sorry. He called it checkout time. I call it breakfast time.
Well, that's fair. That's firm but fair.
I call it nigh on lunch.
Nigh on lunch.
Shall we
by the way,
retire
just
to? Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Last thing he says before night is he starts complaining again about the city. He clearly hates it in there, and he's so glad to be outside of it, even though it means like a really shitty kind of life. He says, well, hell, y'all traveling to Red Mesa? Well, let me ask you a little something. Y'all know about that Swiss cheese plateau it's sitting on top of?
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen it.
Yep. Seen it.
Damn, well, the interior of that damn thing seems like nothing's lived there forever. But that plateau, it makes me think of a dang ant hive, doesn't it? All those tunnels around, through, underneath, in that butte, that plateau.
Yami agrees, despite not really knowing what he's talking about.
Does anyone work down there?
Hell, ain't nobody who need to work down there. I don't know of anything anybody's done with them tunnels. Just because the truth is, they're creepy. They're built like a hive. All these tunnels just going nowhere. Not built according to, well, I guess you might say, uh, from a human perspective, all these things are built for something smaller, and they're not built. You know how in a room where you and I might live, it's about 8 feet high, and your
Mhm.
buildings are about your doorways are always 6 foot. That's the standard. These things, damn, they're all 5 feet tall. Ain't no human can get through without ducking.
Well, they must be designed for something smaller than humans, but I don't know what that could be.
Well, I don't know if they're built for even little humanoids. And here I'm talking about your gnomes and your goblins and your dwarves, all that damn crew, all those little slightly human things.
I have no more to say on the matter. I just basically, I politely turn away from Lucky. I'm like, I'm going to sleep.
Lucky gets the hint. He knows it's bedtime for everybody. Just
yeah, like we're really
Pretty
tired.
sure he was given the hint.
Yeah.
well, he just wanted to talk a little bit about that hive underneath.
Yeah, some exposition. Come on.
Yeah, come on, people. Jesus. Quick question: can anybody see my dog on? The
Nope.
Nope. Nope.
Well, it's too late. All right,
Pains my heart.
never mind. I'm throwing him
Never-
aside.
Yeah, I even turned on Flash, that thing that should not be named, to try and see if I, could get it on. But alas, did not happen.
Well, I do think truly that's one of the main problems that I've had in this campaign is simply that I can't show you my dog. It's very hard.
I'm to be honest, I don't know how you do. I don't know how you cope with video, because some of my facial expressions during this campaign have just been sort of.
Well, the distinct difference I think is that I'm the DM, and as such, I kind of know what's happening.
That's true. That's true.
A touch.
Well, shall we get on with our long rest, or is there?
Yeah, absolutely. You guys take a nap, and you are faced anew with a new day. There are no dogs chasing you. There is sand all the way around you, and you are maybe a good 10-mile march away from a gigantic, enormous plateau ahead of you. And you can start to see the tunnels in the sides that your man Lucky #2 referenced. Another good question you guys might want to ask is, why are there so many Lucky?
I assume that was an in-joke that will be explained later.
I thought about asking, but I assumed it would have been part of his initial description. He does not look like the other one, right?
That is correct.
They look like two different people.
Yeah.
Okay.
These are two separate Luckies, absolutely, unquestionably.
Okay.
Where did you find all these Luckies? Were you up all night to get lucky?
Inspiration. Great work.
Hey.
All right. So now that you are here, perfect chance for us to take a little bio beverage break. And then we're going to get back to things really quickly until such time as our... Oh, shit.
Yeah,
you got to go at 3, right?
I got 10-ish minutes.
Right.
Should we see out those 10 minutes, or?
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's go ahead
you
and
would
let's
like
go ahead and
to
see out.
set
You
us
guys,
free.
you guys reach the edge of the city. There are enormous, so this plateau is a gigantic round plateau, and to get to it from the desert floor, etched on the sides of it are steps and steps and steps, maybe 12,000 steps that go around the whole thing, so as to keep from being too steep. No steps, like actual stone steps.
Like the band.
Right. Steep stone steps. God in heaven. Yes, we got it. And so you guys kind of raise off of the desert, and your feet feel so much better on the stone. It feels so much cooler and nicer. You've been having just red hot feet this entire time, and getting to the mesa is such a balm for you, physically, as well as emotionally, knowing that in Red Mesa there's water to be found, and so you don't have to work out your spells or whatever. Just civilization is near, and having lived for the most part in Thanatos, you guys are itching for a little bit of civilization. And in front of you appears a Wild West city. It is all built in wood. There are facades on many buildings. There are saloons. This is classic Wild West sort of architecture and territory. Off into the north, you can see the vast waterworks that are built by maybe a dozen mechanical, magical engineers like Yami, who can create water. And they are in charge of keeping a couple of periapts floating, and periaps, of course, allow for continual spells to occur without concentration.
Okay.
So there's a very small, pitiful waterfall in kind of the northern area, and it is indeed built higher above, just so that people understand who exactly is creating their water and who precisely is responsible for the continued survival of this town. Right.
Hmm. Yeah.
And that is what you see. You as you sort of walk into town unsteadily, you're not, I'm assuming that nobody here has a house in Red Mesa. Is this
Has a
correct?
what?
Has like a house.
Ah,
Oh, right.
Nobody here is a
Um,
resident of Red Mesa. You guys
No.
are all.
nope.
Delta has never owned a house.
Nope.
That's fair. Yeah, that seems in
Mm,
keeping.
My house is on wheels.
Not in my backstory. Like the Yami's backstory does include working on an estate, but that estate is not specified as being in Red Mesa. So.
Okay. Yeah, you're probably in the Red Mesa territory and not in the city of Red Mesa. Again, like all three of these entities, city states, such that there is Rothica, that is a city, but also the large Antarctican sort of state that has
Mm.
fish and gulags. Red Mesa, of course, is the trade route. And then down south, you've got Thanatos, which is also its own city state of lush greenery and sort of a little bit more of a diversified economic portfolio, as it were. So you guys all march into Red Mesa, and you see ahead of you there are people rushing hither and thither. There's a pathetic waterfall in the northern part of the city-state, or of the city, which is distinct from the state. And you see a woman in front of you who seems concerned about your well-being. She's based right on the periphery of the city, and she sees people coming up the stairs manually as opposed to through the train station,
Hmm.
right? Like
Yeah.
Mm.
almost everything is through the train station here. There's a magical train that goes between Rothica and Red Mesa, and from Red Mesa to Thanatos.
Separate
But
from the other one?
precisely what you guys were on was the first express train that
Okay.
went directly. So let me clarify that bit.
Okay. Well, Yami goes up to the woman and says, "Oh, you've got to help us. We were beset on by bandits in the desert. Yeah, they took everything that we own. It's our situation. It's most desperate. Please help us. We're just so glad to be back in civilization, away from the harshities of the desert."
Oh, she looks at you and she says, "Oh my goodness, darling. You look rode hard and put away wet. Y'all all right?"
Oh, thankfully, we did find somewhere to rest and some water, thanks to a kind landowner who lives just on the outskirts of the city. But we are without basic supplies.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Darling, I'm so sorry to hear that. Here. Uh shit, y'all need a place to stay?
I
Y'all need food, y'all need water, y'all need a place to stay? What the hell?
At least until we can
Um,
get up on our feet. That'd be mighty kind.
Yeah, we don't want to take your take too much of your kindness. We we're proud.
Well, I like to treat people right. It is only right in this world that we do this. So why don't y'all come with me back to my home? Y'all
All
can meet
right,
my kids if you want.
all right. Well, yeah, I guess Yami looks at the group for acknowledgement. And should we do
Del-
this? She seems like a nice person.
Stealth
Might be
assurance.
a route for information. All right, well, executive lead. I start to follow Marsh and see if anyone comes along.
We all run the other way. No.
Ah,
Man, splitting up the party is number one cause of death.
well, all right. I'm glad to put you all up for room and board. Y'all can meet my kids. I've got 2 kids, Clyde and Ellie, and they will be so glad to meet a group of travelers. And I just want to share my generosity with y'all. My dog is about to lose his goddamn mind. Stand by.
In the game? Ah, okay.
um,
It's one of those occasions where you hope the bite is worse than the bark.
now that Marge / the DM is distracted, we should focus on getting our story straight on why we're crossing the desert.
Well, we're on a horse with no name, but okay. So, yeah. Well, what were we? Were we merchants, traders, that sort of thing?
I mean, that's what we told Lucky. I'm fine with
Yeah,
having a different story
I-
here.
Yeah, I did kind of screw it up.
No, that's all. Fine.
Yeah.
I think we can stick to that broad idea.
Okay. Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. So, GM's gone. I'll talk to you.
No, I'm here.
Oh,
I'm here,
hey.
sorry.
I don't know the all the tech we've got here. What I would like to do in a perfect world is send a telegram back to Thanatos for my stuff and maybe some other people's stuff if I have an agent who can work on that. If that is a possibility, we should come up with a story that doesn't involve us being attacked by bandits, because then why would our stuff be in Thanatos?
Okay, so it would be dangerous to send such a telegram. And the reason is simply that Rothica is an actual authoritarian dystopia, and they would be tracing your associates. So that if you were to send an agent, it would be, or if you were to send a telegram to an agent, that agent might run the risk of being identified.
Shit.
So you
Now
have
there is like directly a solution to your problems that Blood Ted and Skoo hold that I think might help for next session. So especially because you need to leave literally right now, I think we should go ahead and wind it down. And I think that Blood Ted and Skoo will solve that particular problem for you in this next session.
Awesome. All right. Yeah, I'm okay with session wind down at the moment. So,
I don't want to spoil anything, but I'm one dog and he's the other.
And I'm the trench coat.
Oh, thanks. You ruined it.
Damn. I was hoping you'd keep it secret the whole time. So Marge Author is welcoming all of y'all into her household. I'm so glad to see y'all. Just it is really nice to know that evil does not triumph just this once, and that y'all were able to get away from those bandits pursuing you.
Yeah, it was despite the conversation that we just had, I'm continuing with the bandit narrative, just being like, oh man, there's an end to this thread. Yeah, it's we were so lucky to escape. They took everything that we had. Well, I say almost everything. Saved the clothes off our backs, just generally, shoot the breeze with Marge and ask her. So, what do you do around here?
Absolutely nothing.
Man, dog has just gone mad. I was really worried about that, like, awkward pause. I was just like, oh man, I roleplayed real bad. That Blaze night, like, you just had to fucking cut. Ooh, there we go.
Ain't no awkward pauses. Sorry, my dog literally like tried to maul the mailman.
Oh, no.
Yeah, my dog just lost his mind. So
Just take him and explain him. That's such a
I'm
cliche.
sorry.
So I asked I basically, I basically continued the silly bandit narrative because I essentially told her this shitty lie, and now I'm having to like run with it. And asked her, like what she does, basically around here, like how does she make a living? Well, and not phrasing it in like, so what do you do? Sort of a, what you do, how do you do around these parts? That sort of question.
She explains, well, my whole job, I guess, is to raise Clyde and Ellie. I guess that's it's my whole purpose.
Oh.
And with that, we end the session. You
Yeah.
guys are going to learn a little bit more details about Marge next session. But needless to say, she is the first person to greet you, and she is interested in helping you in a way that you have not seen this entire campaign thus far. Like everybody else is kind of out to get their own, but she cares about her fellow man.
They're all out to murk us, and we're about to murk Marge or something.
Yes.
Well,
about
murking Marge, that'll become more clear next time. All right.
We need to do it like a sleek outro. That will become next time on the Mesa thing and the Delta in between
campaign.
How are them Duke boys going to get out of this one?
Yeah, how will our heroes get out of being taken care of by
Always Sunny gif. The gang murders Marge.
Right, like the total cliffhanger. She is wearing a light gray dress from head to toe with a light gray veil that you can see there in that picture. And that is all I care to tell you about Marge right now. Odd, cut out the recording and get the fuck to where you need to go. Love you.
Out.
Good game.